Imagine being the absolute greatest surfer on planet Earth.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Right. So you have perfect balance, you've got impeccable technique built up over decades, and a custom board shaped specifically for your body.
Sounds like I'm ready for the water.
You are. But you paddle out into the ocean when it is completely, utterly flat.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's just a bummer.
Exactly. I mean, it does not matter how hard you paddle or how much grit you have or how deeply you believe in your own potential.
Right, because there's no wave.
Without the wave, you are just sitting in the water getting sunburned. Today, we are exploring why that wave, that invisible force of timing, is arguably the only thing that actually dictates your ultimate success.
Such a critical concept.
It really is. So, welcome to another deep dive. If you're a curious learner looking for an intellectual shortcut to wrap your head around the hidden mechanics of destiny, you are in the right place.
We've got some great material today.
We do. We're looking at an intriguing, highly philosophical essay from 2007 by a writer named Shui. It's titled Time Brings Changes in Fortune.
And it really flips a lot of our modern assumptions completely upside down.
Oh, absolutely. Our mission today is to deconstruct the elusive concept of luck. We're going to figure out why talent and hard work just aren't enough on their own, how we can actively prepare for our lucky break, and why the chaos of the modern digital age might actually be the ultimate catalyst for changing your life's trajectory.
I'm really looking forward to getting into this one.
Me too. Okay, let's unpack this.
So right off the bat, this premise puts our entire modern hustle culture on trial.
Yeah, big time. We hear constantly that it's all about grit, right?
Exactly. We're completely conditioned to worship the grind. We elevate this idea that you could just force a victory through sheer willpower or, networking with the right people or moving to the perfect geographic hub for your industry.
But this text just sweeps all of that off the table.
It really does. Swiffen argues that the absolute undisputed ruler of success is timing. Everything else is secondary.
Like even location and allies.
Yes. Geographical advantage, the support of powerful people, even your own burning ambition, says they all bow to timing.
And what's wild is that it's framed not just as a business strategy, but as a fundamental law of nature.
Right. It's presented as a universal constant.
Yeah. The essay says that when the timing is right, the natural order just effortlessly clicks into motion. Solid ice melts without anyone having to hammer at it.
Greenery flourishes.
Thunder is born, yeah.
Yeah.
And even on a societal level, it says long-standing injustices are finally cleared. The universe just decides it's time to move forward.
But then Schuecken describes this really surreal reality when your timing is off.
Oh, the upside-down world.
Yes. It's a world where gold appears as iron,
Wow.
where oxen bully tigers, and where cats fear mice.
Let's actually linger on that oxen bullying tigers imagery for a second, because it perfectly captures the sheer absurdity of bad timing.
It really hits home, doesn't it?
It does. Because think of the tiger as pure talent and capability. You could be like a brilliant engineer or a visionary artist or a super competent manager.
But if the timing is wrong...
Right. If you launch your initiative during an economic downturn or introduce a product 5 years before the market is ready, you're going to get bullied by an ox.
Which means being outmaneuvered by less talented people.
Exactly. Or sluggish bureaucracies, or just bad circumstances. Your exceptional talents will seem, as the essay translates, entirely worthless.
Diligent studies will go completely unnoticed by the world. And to back that up, there's a really memorable quote from the text.
Oh, read it for us.
It says, "Sprouting in winter leads to inevitable demise. Budding in autumn leads to fruitlessness. Sprouting in spring is opportune."
I love that agricultural metaphor.
It's brilliant. And what's fascinating here is it gives the listener permission to reframe their past failures.
How so?
Well, sometimes a failed project or a missed promotion isn't a lack of genius. It's just someone trying to sprout in winter.
Ah, I see.
The seed isn't broken. The execution of its biology is working perfectly. But because it pushed forward into the frost, it dies.
The essay actually has a great phrase for that. It says, you're just sipping the northwest wind.
Yes. You can have ambitions that span the universe, but if the timing is wrong, you're just sipping the wind.
Okay, reframing past failures is super appealing, but I have to push back here a little bit.
Enough, go ahead.
If I botch a project because my code was full of bugs, or I bomb a presentation because I literally didn't practice, that is not Winter's fault, right? That's just me failing at execution.
Right, of course.
So how does this philosophy distinguish between an actual lack of skill and just having bad timing? Are we just giving ourselves a free pass for every mistake?
No, not at all. That is a crucial distinction. The essay does not absolve you of incompetence.
Okay, good.
What it's addressing is the friction you feel when your execution is totally flawless, but the universe rejects it anyway.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But this brings us to a really massive pivot in the source material.
The ecosystem concept.
Yes. Because if timing is this grand external force dictated by cosmic seasons, does that mean our personal luck is just entirely out of our control?
It's a scary thought.
It is. And Shufeng takes this fascinating turn, revealing that individual luck doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's tied to a massive, deceptive ecosystem.
It scales up in a way that forces you to look outside your own bubble.
Right. It says personal fortune is fundamentally tethered to national and heavenly fortune.
Exactly. If the world or your industry is experiencing widespread misery, your personal good fortune is going to be really elusive.
Which introduces this terrifying idea about the deceptiveness of luck.
Oh, the transformative nature of fortune.
Yeah, the essay argues that apparent good fortune might actually be heaven setting someone up with a, quote, substantial misfortune.
And conversely, an apparent calamity might be a hidden blessing.
So what does this all mean?
Well,
I mean, if apparent good luck is actually a trap, and our luck depends on the whole nation doing well, aren't we just powerless pawns at the mercy of the universe's mood swings?
it is so easy to read those lines and sink straight into fatalism. I completely agree.
Right? Why even try?
But the text provides a really clear answer to this, and that answer is perspective.
Perspective.
Yes, the essay literally says, whether it is calamity or fortune, it all depends on one's own perspective.
So it's how you look at the event.
Exactly. The heavens ultimately seek harmony. They want auspicious winds and peace for the people.
Meaning the system is inherently self-correcting.
Precisely. A bad event is rarely just random cruelty. It's often the universe correcting an imbalance.
Give me an example of that.
Sure. Let's say you get passed over for a major leadership role.
Okay, from a narrow perspective, that's a disaster.
Right. Your ego is bruised. It's a calamity. But from a broader perspective, taking that role might have locked you into a decaying department that's going to be dissolved in 6 months anyway.
Oh, wow. So the apparent calamity is actually a course correction.
Yes, pushing you toward a more harmonious path. You aren't a pawn. You're just a participant who needs to read the board better.
That makes it feel much more like a dynamic system we're a part of rather than some cosmic lottery.
Absolutely.
But still, if we can't control the heavens and we can't control the nation's trajectory, what can we actually control?
We can't just sit around waiting for the seasons to change.
Exactly. Fortunately, the text provides a highly specific 3-part formula for generating fortune, so you aren't just sitting around.
This is where the philosophy gets super practical.
Yeah.
The 3 elements of fortune are, number 1, life's structure.
Okay, structure.
Number 2, the gestation period, which is your preparation. And number 3, timing.
Let's break those down, starting with structure, because the text is pretty blunt here.
It borders on ruthless.
It does. It says, a dragon begets a dragon. And it points out that wheat simply cannot grow into corn.
It demands radical self-awareness.
Yeah. It basically says, not every kid who studies music can be Mozart, and not every college dropout is going to become Bill Gates.
Which is a tough pill to swallow for the modern ego. But structure dictates your base capacity. You know, an egg can hatch into a chick, but it can't hatch into an eagle.
Right, and it's not trying to be pessimistic, it's trying to save you from wasting your life.
Exactly. If you're a wheat seed, don't spend decades furious that you aren't growing corn.
Which leads perfectly into the second element, gestation.
The preparation phase.
Yeah, once you accept your structure, you have to put in the time. And Xufeng uses these great agricultural timelines.
I love these.
He says, peach trees take 3 years, apricots take 4, and walnut trees need 18 years.
18 years. But it shows that waiting aimlessly is useless. The text says miracles don't happen on a desert of the soul.
You have to actually do the work.
You have to accumulate the materials.
Yeah.
If you want the harvest of a walnut tree, you better be prepared for 18 quiet years of gestation.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because I was trying to synthesize this into a modern construct for everyone listening.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
It's kind of like building a spaceship.
Okay, I'm with you.
The structure is the blueprint. Like, you can't fly to space in a sedan, right? You have to have the right structure.
The physics demand it.
Exactly. And the gestation is the years of building it. testing thrusters, running simulations. You can't rush the engineering.
No skipping steps.
And then the timing is the launch window. You can have the greatest rocket ever built, but if there's a hurricane parked over the launch pad...
You're not going anywhere.
Exactly.
I have to jump in here because that rocket launch window maps so perfectly to my absolute favorite historical reference in this text.
Oh, what's that?
The text mentions Chibi, the Battle of Red Cliffs.
Okay, I know that's a legendary naval battle, but fill in the details for us.
It is massively famous in Chinese history, and Shifeng references it with just one line. All preparations ready, just waiting for the east wind.
The east wind.
Right. Historically, the Allied forces were facing this overwhelming enemy naval fleet. Their only chance was a fire attack. So during their gestation period, they did all the preparation. They used spies to trick the enemy into chaining their ships together.
Wow.
They prepped their own fireboats. They did everything right. But there was one massive problem.
Let me guess. The timing.
The wind. In winter, the wind blew from the northwest. If they lit the fires, the wind would blow the flames right back into their own faces.
Oh, that's a disaster.
They needed an anomaly. They needed a sudden east wind to blow the fire toward the enemy.
So all that preparation was functionally useless without the timing.
Yes, but the inverse is what Sufing is really emphasizing.
Oh, I see.
Everyone focuses on the miraculous east, the luck. But the text explicitly warns that without all the prior preparation, the wind means absolutely nothing.
Right, if they hadn't built the fireboats.
Exactly. The wind wouldn't have done anything. It would have just been a nice breeze. Opportunity only embraces the prepared mind. The wind doesn't build the fire, it only spreads it.
That is such a powerful image. So we have this ancient formula of preparation and timing. But how do we apply it right now in a world moving 1,000,000 miles an hour?
This is where the essay takes a really wild leap.
It does. It ties thousands of years of ancient mysticism directly into the digital age.
It references specific hexagrams from the I Ching, the Book of Changes.
Right, the 5th, 9th, and 11th hexagrams.
Yeah, and they all focus on this distinct phase of cultivating and awaiting the opportune moment.
But it goes beyond just waiting. It talks about changing your life's trajectory.
This loops right back to structure. The text argues that a cart travels a road, but an immortal treads an immortal path.
Meaning, just having good timing doesn't change your species.
Exactly. A dog remains a dog. If you get a massive tailwind, a cart on a road just becomes a faster cart.
It doesn't suddenly take flight.
Right. You have to foster a completely new structure
to
step into a higher trajectory.
And this is where Shifeng points to the modern catalyst. Written back in 2007, the essay points to the networking era and New Age consciousness as the ultimate east wind.
It was incredibly prescient.
It really was. It notes that the information we receive today surpasses a whole year in the past. It claims that old systems are collapsing, giving us the chance to align with the international system.
And embrace an immortal lifestyle.
But I have to ask you, how does the sheer volume of information we have today actually serve as a catalyst for changing our fundamental structure?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, think of your structure as your mental software.
Okay.
Historically, your software was strictly limited by your physical location, your local teachers, your town's beliefs, your socioeconomic class.
Right, you were boxed in.
But the internet completely shatters those geographic limits. You can adopt the structure of world-class thinkers just by accessing their knowledge online.
So the flood of information isn't just noise?
Not if you use it intentionally. The text is telling us that the collapse of old gatekeepers is the opportunity.
That's amazing.
But this raises an important question for you, the listener. We all have access to this roaring east wind of information today. But are you using the modern internet just to become a slightly faster cart on the exact same road?
Wow.
Or are you using it to fundamentally upgrade your structure and step onto a higher path?
That is the ultimate challenge right there. It's so tempting to just use our modern tools to smooth out our current trajectory, rather than doing the hard work of evolving.
It takes real effort to change your blueprint.
So to bring all of this together for you listening at home, don't let the endless information overload paralyze you. Figure out what you are actually trying to build.
Yes, find your true structure.
Exactly. Put in the quiet years of work your gestation and refine your perspective. Be ready, so when the east wind of the modern age finally blows your way, you can catch fire.
And as you look at your own goals, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought derived from this text. The essay warns that old systems are crumbling. And if our personal fortune is so deeply tied to national and heavenly fortune, perhaps the ultimate stroke of good luck isn't succeeding within the old world,
Mm.
but learning how to happily let go of it before it forces you to.
Wow, letting go before it forces you to. That is definitely something to chew on.
It really shifts your perspective on change.
It absolutely does. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep building your structure, stay ready for that east wind, and we'll see you next time.